If you remember, in our last video, we were discussing how we can automate a complex operation of doing a full checkout from an e-commerce website like PB Tech of New Zealand. And we saw how easy it is to do the operation using a simple scenario, something like this. So this is like a plain English text that we are doing over here, and it does all the magic for us. Very interesting and very cool. But the next thing which come to people naturally is going to be like, why is there are so many text over here? Like, how can I reduce this number of text that we have here? Like, can I do something like a reusable steps within our testRigor? Because you can see that some of the things are like very, very repetitive. For example, if you're going to choose a Huawei phone or OnePlus phone, which is all on Android phones to be purchased, then probably what you can do is you can just reuse this particular steps that we have over here. Similarly, checkout operations is also going to be pretty much exactly the same from here, right? Like proceed to checkout. So this is something we can reuse, pretty much like how we reduced the number of step definition, pretty much like how we reduce the number of steps using one single command here using login, something like this. So how can we do that? Then comes our reusable rules. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this whole thing from here. Let's say I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to the reusable rules. So let me just close this, reusable rules, and I'm going to create a new reusable rule this time. I'm going to call this as probably by Android, and this label is also going to be by Android, and I'm going to put all the steps. So this is the steps to buy an Android phone, right? I'm going to save and replace. So once I do that, it is very intelligent enough to tell me that, okay, this particular steps looks like there is one test case which is using this step definition. Do you want me to replace the selected test? Of course, happily do that. And once I do that, and once I go back to my test case, and if I see that, you see that it's automatically replacing that by Android. And that's good. So all the tests has been modified. So if you have like hundreds of test cases within this particular testRigor, it's going to replace all the different steps that you have used multiple times, which is quite cool. But let's say this proceed to checkout is something which I can reuse as well. So I'm going to copy this over here, and I'm going to go to the reusable rules, and I'm going to create a new reusable rule this time, checkout, and I'm going to call this as checkout 2. These are the steps that I wanted. So I'm going to save and replace once again, and you can see that it has found intelligently. I want to save and replace. Cool. So now you know what is going to happen naturally. The checkout has come here. And this is looking like a verification that I'm doing. So what if I do this? I'm just going to put this on a verification of the quantity. We'll talk about the test data in our next video, where you know how we can use the automatic test data insertions and stuff. But for now, let's focus on the test rules. So I'm going to create a new rule. I'm going to call this as verification of cart. So you can give any name for that matter. You can use comma separated as well, just to search the commands that you're going to do. So replace the selected. And now if I go back to my test case, edit the test case, you can see that it's getting very, very short this time, which is cool. If you want to replace this as well, like search Samsung phone, something like that, you can do that as well. That will reduce even further your scenarios, but probably I don't want to do that for now. Let it be here. So I'm just going to update and retest. That's it. You will see that this is going to do exactly the same operation that we just did earlier, but just that the reusable rules are going to bring us even more benefits, because it has got all the steps that we are looking for in one single place. So if we have multiple different test scenarios, then we can just use this reusable rules to perform those operations for us, and it is going to be very, very awesome. So that's it, guys. This is how we can use the reusable rules within testRigor to shorten our test scenarios, more readable, and business can focus on just some of the keywords. I mean, you can just give your business like team to use these keywords to perform the operation, and they can just use that keyword, for example, checkout, and that checkout will have the rules like business rules and logics of how they can check out and stuff. So those things are going to be awesome for you. So you can see that currently the test is working, and it is going to work as expected. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.